Hello, it's Chase Bright and welcome back to another video. Today I am doing one of those what's in their bag challenges. Um, but this time I'm illustrating what would be in my character Harper's bag. I thought this would be an interesting thing to explore, for character development purposes. And it's fun doing illustrations about your characters, without it actually, being your character. Um, so for Harper, I like to imagine she carries around a, fancier styled purse, but she personalizes it to be a little bit more girly, hence the, charms hanging off of it. But I think she carries around a fancier purse, just because of her mom, Ambrosia. I feel like her mom, Ambrosia, is a control freak about her daughter. So she would not let her daughter be carrying around just, any old bag, She'd make sure she's carrying around something that looked a little fancy. And then, she has a set of, house keys on her. Because she does sneak out of the house, as she gets older. So she needs a way to get back into her house without her mom knowing. Maybe she got it from a maid or something. And she definitely carries around lipstick because I like to color her with red colored lips. Really pinky red colored lips. So that would not come naturally. She would definitely be a makeup wearer. Or at least a very minimal makeup wearer. And I think she's the type of person to write to-do lists, keep old receipts. She just hangs on to these things, even though she doesn't technically need them anymore. And then she has, gum wrappers, things like that. Just hanging around in her purse. Because she, in some instances, she doesn't know how to let go of things. Which is why I also think she likes to carry around a digital camera, from her era, because she wants ways to remember the life around her, and the people around her and things like that, because she's very sentimental, where she's a vampire and she can't hold on to things forever, but she can take pictures of things and then she can keep that around forever, And then in general, I imagine that when Harper draws, she uses a fancy, calligraphy pen. So that's why she has the stained handkerchief, because she's, wiping the ink off of her pen, trying to get delicate lines. And so that's why she also carries a bottle of ink. But, ink's a very messy medium. So that's why her ink is, spilling out a little bit, from her pot. And that's also why she carries around that stained handkerchief, because it's a messy medium. She wants to keep it a little bit contained, but also she seems a little bit of a messy person, just doesn't really care, And as for her sketchbook, I imagine she's not really the type to decorate her own sketchbooks that much. Because for me, I'll buy a sketchbook and then I'll customize it. But she doesn't seem like the type of person that would. So this is probably just a sketchbook she bought at the store. And it came this way. She's never customized it or anything further. But the more she draws in this sketchbook, the more, random bits of paper, maybe, even scrapbook photos and stuff like that start to fall out. So that's why it looks a little messy. And then, if you have a handbag, you more often than not have a matching little wallet. So I didn't really illustrate anything that's, in this wallet. I imagine she mostly just has money in there. I don't think they carry, I don't think she would carry any identification on her, for example. I do think she's careful about, making sure she has all of her belongings on her, because she doesn't want to leave anything behind. But also, I don't think she'd have identification if she did leave anything behind. World building wise, in this world, they have vampires and stuff. I don't think there's a realistic way for a vampire to have a form of identification on them. Because there's no way Harper was, like, born in a hospital or something, you know? They do have their own, like, underground society or something of that nature. But I don't think they're, like, overreaching into the government and stuff like that, you know? I don't know. I'm hoping to do more of these with my different characters sometime soon. So for, like, an example, I would draw Blair with her identification and stuff on her, because she would be the person that would carry that. But I don't know when I'm going to get around to drawing that. I thought this would be fun to start as a series and then see where it goes from here. But I hope you enjoy listening to me ramble indirectly about my characters, even though I'm not drawing a picture of my characters. And I'll see you in the next video, hopefully sometime soon. Bye-bye.